Greetings, people that are joining. We'll wait another minute as more enter. I've got 12:01. We'll give it some more time because people continue to join. Okay, that's it. We will begin. Since we've got a mini webinar today, we'll start reasonably on time and get into it. So good day all from the Illinois SBDC International Trade Center at the Women's Business Development Center in downtown Chicago. Welcome back to all that join our monthly webinars, and greetings to those who join us for the first time. And I think we've got a very good and relevant topic to talk about today, and an excellent presenter that is the best expert we could find to talk about this program. So today, let's talk about grants for Illinois exporters called the ISTEP program. And first, a few slides just to explain what the ITC does, and we go from there. So I'm located at the Women's Business Development Center in Chicago. So there's 7 international trade centers around the state of Illinois and ultimately funded by the state of Illinois. I'm located at the Women's Business Development Center, which is a nonprofit, very well-known, well-established nonprofit downtown with programs and services to support and accelerate women's business ownership and growth. And if there's also programs there for veterans as well. And if you ought to look into the WBDC at wbdc.org and look at their programs, because there's a lot of very powerful information coming out of that organization. At the WBDC, you've got a small business development center, which is around, let's say, US, a domestic business. They can help you with planning. They can help you with identifying funding options and a lot of different things. If you've got a company that's more targeted to selling to governments, there's what's called a PTAC there, which is a center completely focused on selling to government, state government, county government, city government, just help you how to do that. And there's some assets we've got there. I'm at the International Trade Center. I direct the International Trade Center, and I can help you with a lot of different things. I work within the WBDC clientele and outside. So I've got clients all over, basically Cook County, and working with companies that want to start exporting or increase their current exporting. We can talk about developing an export plan. We can talk about channels and market strategies. We can do some research for you if you're at the point like, okay, where do I start? What countries? What segments? You know, we can do some research and help you narrow that down. We can help you with shipping and logistics issues or payment issues or credit insurance. And as of today, we can help you with grant programs. So consider the ITC a resource. Everything we do is free, no charge. And consider us as somebody who can provide advice or connect you with experts in particular international trade fields. My background, I've been doing international business and exporting for, call it, most of 30 years. Worked for a lot of different US companies, building and managing their export businesses, took me all over the world. And I've been in the international trade community in the Chicago area for my whole career. So that's what I've done. And now I don't travel, no more of that 20 weeks a year travel. Now I just can talk about it. So just briefly, I'm a gateway to connect you with these resources, the SBA, the U.S. Commercial Service, the state of Illinois, Ex-Im Bank, etc. Down at the bottom, it says Robust International Trade Network. That's what we have in the Chicago area, and I'm there to help you connect with those people. So that will be, there's my contact info if you want to talk about exporting. And from there, we'll go to today's webinar. So the state of Illinois has got programs to support exporters, and there are grants available to help you build your international sales. We'll learn about that today. Atul, who will introduce himself shortly, is the program specialist for the state of Illinois on this program. We're going to go 30 minutes, get right into it. There'll be Q&A at the end, so just type in your questions in Q&A. Our next International Trade Center webinar will be June 16th, 12 noon, about building an international e-commerce program. If you're on this program, we'll send you the information about how to sign up for that free webinar next month. And again, there's my info of if you're interested in following up. So from there, I'll stop. Atul, I'll hand it over to you. You put your slides up and off you go.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Atul Nair. Sorry.
I see your slide. You're good to go.
Fantastic. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Atul Nair with the State of Illinois Office of Trade and Investment. Very happy to have had Bill invite us to speak about the program. We really appreciate his and the other ITC managers' support. They're very critical in our export ecosystem. Our state GSP is $973.5 billion, and we export over $70 billion worth of goods. The Office of Trade and Investment is here to help open international markets for Illinois companies and organizations. We also, on the side, help promote foreign direct investment into Illinois. We're here to help the state, the companies within the state, and the professionals in the state succeed internationally. We offer export assistance and education, international market promotion and logistics support, market intelligence and international protocol, foreign direct investment lead generation, and trade mission coordination in sister cities. We have foreign offices, 6 locations located throughout the world. They serve as your regional launching pad. Most of these foreign offices have foreign office managers with decades of experience. If you're interested in doing business in any of these regions, I would seriously suggest reaching out to these foreign office managers. They're always happy to help Illinois companies, and they transmit their knowledge to you very effectively. And as Bill mentioned, we work with the SBDC ITC network, along with U.S. Commercial Service and Ex-Im Bank. We always integrate these services into ours to ensure that companies have a fulfilling experience, especially when traveling abroad, to ensure that they have met everyone relevant to their industry and that they feel that they have gathered the information they need in order to succeed within that region, country, and their export plan. Now, OTI is bigger than the ISTEP program. Many of our functions aren't reimbursed through the ISTEP program, but are available for companies to succeed. This includes the counseling that foreign office managers and the ITC network provide. We also, through the foreign offices, can do distributor, agent, and partner searches. Our main bread and butter is hosting group trade missions at key trade shows throughout the world. These trade shows are accompanied by our trade specialists and our foreign office manager to ensure that companies get pre-trade show promotion and meetings, trade show support, and access to databases that can potentially find them distributors, agents, and partners. And we also coordinate and connect with consulates and the foreign governments when needed and necessary for the promotion of our client companies. So the eligibility for the ISTEP program. The businesses have to be established as a business in Illinois for 1 year, have less than 500 employees, have revenue greater than 250,000, are export ready, meaning they understand the costs associated with exporting, the different factors that go with exporting, and the regulations that may be involved with their specific industry. The product or service has to have at least 51% US content and 25% Illinois content. And yeah, as I mentioned, sound strategy for exporting that is export ready. Qualified companies can get reimbursed for the following types of activities, including group trade missions, individual foreign market sales missions, website localization, product certification, EXIM Bank premiums, and matchmaking. So for group trade missions, the trade specialists usually promote and are asked to promote usually 1 to 2 group trade missions to their region per year. These usually involve industries where they have some assurance that they can recruit 6 to 8 Illinois companies and represent the state very well within that industry for that region. When a group trade missions or the list of group trade missions don't actually meet your industry or your sales needs, you can propose and promote an individual mission, which essentially allows you to designate where you would like to conduct your export activities. You can get reimbursed for the same number of people, 2 people, and the reimbursement limit is $10,000. And it includes, it includes airfare, lodging, and program expenses, which can include trade show booth and program matchmaking, such as US Department of Commerce or a third-party matchmaker. Group trade mission limit is 5,000. Individual foreign market sales mission limit is 10,000 because the group trade mission, the presumption is the state pays for your booth. The booth is free completely. And so that's why the limits are slightly different. With website localization, this is a program where you can take your existing website and then localize it for a specific market. So let's say that Europe is the market that you would like to explore for the next couple of years, and you're going to a trade show in Germany. Germany is usually the hub for industrial goods and related services. So you can customize your website so it has a Germany domain name. And then when you meet an agent or distributor in Germany, you can tie that website with your contacts that you signed and cross-promote your product while appearing local for German companies that search for your specific product or service. For product certification, this is a program where you take your product line, your manufacturing facility, your service that needs a specific certification. These usually are like ISO, CE mark. These are marks and registrations that apply to multiple countries that help you signify a standard of quality and that are applicable to many countries so that it opens up your product or service to remove that barrier so that you can enter that market easily. And then a new program is EXIM Bank Credit Insurance. This is a program that protects your accounts receivable up to 95%, and the premiums themselves are subsidized by our program. The maximum yearly limit is currently $25,000, and companies are able to attach marketing media and trade show shipping for their reflective limits of 8,000 and 4,000. Basically, for a group trade mission and individual foreign market sales mission, if you need to ship some samples, if you need to ship brochures, marketing material, or pop-up stands, that kind of thing, that's eligible. And for marketing materials, you can pay for some of those. You can also pay for like digital marketing at the trade show, creation of ads that market your product for a specific foreign region. So as I mentioned earlier, group trade missions, we pick usually 8 to 10 planned missions where we take 6 to 8 companies. The meetings are pre-scheduled. Reimbursement amounts vary from usually companies qualify for 50%. There are some category business categories that qualify for 75%. And then when you repeat a show for more than 2 times, all subsequent shows are reimbursed at a 25% level. And yeah, booth is included with the group trade mission, and you're able to add marketing materials and trade show shipping that are needed for you to succeed at that show. Individual for market sales missions are for companies and programs that are outside of the scope of the group trade mission. The same reimbursement limits apply, up to $10,000 for 2 company travelers that cover the airfare, lodging, and trade show expenses. And then the same add-ons for marketing, media, and trade show are available for companies. So this is a different way of showing the different types of programs. One additional feature we have is for export education training, specifically the Export Tech program. If a company feels they need more hands-on and structured course to help companies and the personnel within the company learn about exporting and to develop a plan, and then travel to a different region to conduct sales, that's available, and definitely can speak with an ITC and or the ISTEP committee to find out more about that. Thank you. My name is Atul Nair, and I guess I should have given the intro. I have 10 years of experience in OTI and over 15 years of experience in international trade. Always happy to help. Thank you, Bill.
Hey, Atul, let me get into some questions. Let me go to the international, the individual trade mission.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all right, a small, medium-sized company going to a German trade show, right? German trade shows are very expensive, 5 days, $300 for a hotel, etc. Let's say you go to a trade show and you see but you don't exhibit. You go, you've got 5 or 6 meetings set up with potential distributors, etc., but you're not exhibiting, you're attending the show. Would that qualify?
Yes, it would. What we would recommend, what we would require in that sense is a list of those meetings where it covers who you're meeting with, their contact information, why you're meeting with them, like what are you trying to sell, what kind of business activities are you trying to conduct with them, and then finally if they're a new or existing client. Okay. And usually we require up to 3 meetings a day, especially if you're at a trade show. We would require that much, that many, and if that's all submitted beforehand, the mission can qualify.
What's the like the time frame and of so you're funded like annually, right? And is it a calendar year and it's good to apply at the beginning of the year or what? You know, how does the funding work?
That's a great question, Bill. So our funding is federally funded mostly, and we get our funds. So the program is active from October to September. I recommend working with an international trade director, work with them to formulate your plan. And then when the new year, well, let's just say, so currently we're accepting applications. If a company currently is listening, work with your ITC director and then apply to the program. But let's say you're trying to get ready and prepare for the next fiscal year. We usually announce our program in September that we got the funding from the feds, and then we start taking applications in October. So once you are planned and ready and feel export ready and comfortable with the plan and process, please feel free to apply immediately in October. We'll take your applications, we'll process it, and we'll get you approvals. But a good thing that you brought up is we usually would like applications 60 days in advance. We understand that some business activities pop up last minute, but usually at the latest 30 days, we would require an application so that we have the time to process it, answer all the questions, and then get it submitted to the committee.
All right, that's a good point. Just separately, right? Mm-hmm. What happened if I already spent the money, or that type of thing? Like, what's the timing on the application that maybe I spent it and then I can apply, or how does that work?
No, unfortunately, you have to usually apply before the activity, get approval, and then conduct the activity. Now, there are, some exceptions, like, trade show booths are usually required a year in advance, but that's where the 60-day, 30-day time frame comes in. So you're applying well ahead of time. You're preparing, either making your meetings, doing some matchmaking, that kind of thing ahead of time. Those are the qualities that the ISTEP committee looks for when they're trying to consider applications.
Let's say product certification, right? Like, okay, I'm ready to go, and I submit to UL for an overseas approval, right? That might be like a quick, like I can submit, and that could happen fast, right?
Mhm.
So it's almost like in that case, I could already have I could already be in process, and then I apply, right? Again, the timing.
Yeah,
Would that mess things up?
if they're working with you or an ITC director, that helps provide some credibility. But yeah, the committee doesn't want last minute applications. They want to see that the company's been planning, that they have that they're planning for the success that they're going to experience, that they've taken strategic steps in a chronological kind of order, and that they're trying to achieve their objectives with some thought. But yeah,
I think,
we really would like applications to happen. But let's say that you're planning on attending a trade show next year, so you obviously have to pay for some of it ahead of time. But we would like that application in October, get that approved, and then you can go to that trade mission in 2023.
So how
So
often does the committee meet? How long does it take?
the committee the committee meets usually every 2 weeks, but if there are urgent applications, we can send them in. But we do recommend that companies work with a trade specialist, ITC director, or foreign office manager, but someone in the system, so that there's some planning and forethought, and then things don't get left off at the last minute. So like for product compliance, we need the application, the quote from the service provider, and a letter from the company stating the questions that are on page 9, number 3. Usually those questions are, what were your objectives for this project? What would it fulfill for your company in terms of the export plan? And then, how long will it take for this product compliance to be achieved with your service provider?
All right, a couple specific questions. I'm a Chicago-based, for example, I'm a Chicago-based company, and the product's being made in Indiana or Michigan by some contractor, right? Mm-hmm. Would the company be eligible?
Yes, so there are some exceptions for company headquarters. What we would do is take the application, the data within the application, and conduct a site visit as well, do an assessment, and see, does the company meet the Illinois content that's part of the requirements for this program?
So how do you measure that, right? So like, yeah, I'm an office in Chicago, but the product is being made in somewhere else.
So yeah, so it's an assessment. We try and figure out what kind of activities are done in Illinois and Chicago. So C-suite is the C-suite here, as fiscal group is at the fiscal group here, marketing, shipping, distribution. If contract manufacturer is making it in Indiana, that's fine. But if the company is seriously split between here and Indiana, then it really amounts to, where is the job growth going to happen? If the job growth is going to happen in Indiana, then I would really recommend that company apply in Indiana. But if the job growth is going to happen here, we're all for it.
All right, so that states there that job growth is an important part of this.
It's a criteria considered when all other criteria aren't quite clear.
Okay, how about, can you give an example of a service, whatever, a trainer, right, or something like that, that's trying to grow their business internationally? Maybe they've gotten some kind of training or consulting, right? And maybe they've got overseas clients. I'm working with people with clients in like India or Italy or Europe. Do you have companies like that, service providers?
We do have some. Usually they're on the medium size. This program was primarily there for manufacturers, but we have accepted some service providers. Usually these service providers are technical in nature usually, and they employ about usually greater than 15 people. So it's a sizable operation. So that means they have the resources available to both succeed domestically and focus on their international markets that they're interested in.
Okay. Let me ask you, here's a specific question. The due diligence activities, and you may contract with, let's say the Department of Commerce, you're looking to enter into an agreement with a company, whatever, call it Japan or someplace. You'll ask the Department of Commerce, can you check out this company for me? And they'll contract a subcontractor to do the due diligence. Would that type of activity be something that can be under the ISTEP?
Yeah, that has been brought up in the past. Specifically, it has not been approved yet, but if there's a compelling case, I'm sure the committee would consider it. But at this time, that kind of program has not been accepted.
Another scenario. Okay, I'm going to go to a German trade show, right? I'm going to go to a German trade show. I'm going to get my website localized, and I'm going to get a CE mark, right? So 3 different activities. Should I roll it into one application or 3?
Yes, definitely. So going back to the due diligence part, let's say you are interested in Japan. We do have a foreign office manager in Japan. I would definitely connect with him, find out if he has any contacts that can help verify the company or provide that kind of due diligence. And then going back, so to your other question, yes. So if a company has going to a trade show, they want to do website localization, they want to combine that together because it's relevant to what they're trying to achieve, yeah, we would accept 2 programs in one application.
And let's say, okay, a company gets a grant in 2022. Is there 1 grant a year? Is there limits on that type of thing?
So companies can apply any number of times, but there are the limits of the 25,000 yearly reimbursement limit, as well as the 8,000 marketing and 4,000 shipping. But companies can apply. What the program requires is that companies follow up with their leads that they generate for at least 3 years. Depends on industry cycles, sales cycles, that kind of thing. But what both sides are committing to is there's a commitment between both sides to ensure that the company succeeds and the data is followed up on and recorded by the Office of Trade Investment.
Okay. Let me see if there's what else we may have. Yeah, and we get a copy. Yes, we'll send a copy of the presentation to everybody with the contact info. Atul, can I send the application along to everybody?
Please, and if
Okay.
you don't have a copy, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I got the new 2022 that came out recently.
I'll make
Right.
sure to send the most recent version.
Okay, all right, send it to me and
Yep.
and everybody will get the slides. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, let's go back to that Indiana. I'm a Chicago company. It's made in Indiana or Connecticut or California. How about made in Mexico?
Yeah, then we'd have to assess if the 51% US content is met.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
usually the site visit helps assess, put the data on the application together with the reality of the plant, the company's goal layout, and the contribution to the Illinois economy.
here's a okay, all right, that's useful. I think that is about it. That's good. You know what? We'll send everything out. We're short. We're to the point. I think we delivered a lot of information, a lot of questions. We'll send out an application. Oh, here's one other thing. What's the tip? When I've talked to companies about the ISTEP, it's like there's no grants to get your business started, right? Or to it's more to take your business to the next level, right? And
Yeah.
return on investment for the state of Illinois, right? The grant is not necessarily there to get you going. It's like taking you to the next level. How can you talk about when you're talking about 15 people in a company, for example, with the service? Why don't you talk about the target, sweet spot for the companies where you'll see this?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head. 99% of our companies are successful domestically, and then have an interest, inquiries, or some need to then go abroad. They feel like they have a competitive advantage in 1 or 2 markets abroad and would like to extend their reach out there. So that's what we're looking for. Unfortunately, there's no secret formula. Manufacturers definitely have the easiest because they can justify the expenditures, employment, and everything in Illinois. But for service providers, we'll assess it based on what you are doing, what your impact is, and how geographically spread out you are.
There's a question in terms of Illinois job growth. Is it more by, let's say, by financial, like funds, or 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 job numbers? How's that looked at?
It really depends on the other factors. Like if we're comparing jobs in Illinois versus jobs in Indiana, that kind of thing. It really is on a case-by-case basis at that point.
Okay. You know what? There's our mini webinar. Atul, thanks for delivering the information. Again, we'll follow up with everybody and send you what we have on this presentation and in this program. We go from there. That's it.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Atul. Thanks everybody for joining.
Have a great day.
See you next month.